Hello everybody, Legend for Life here, bringing you guys some brand new videos. Wow, I am just now finally getting around to doing this. I am so sorry guys, I have been sick as a dog all week, and I'm still kind of sick, but I digress. So, oh god, we finally got our new World Legacy Archetype, which I'm not gonna lie, I was super worried that we weren't gonna get these guys, like, anything announced. They went so long without announcing the new World Legacy Archetype that I was legitimately starting to get concerned that we weren't going to get one in Cybernetic Horizon. I mean, it would have been really weird. Yeah, really weird. But we did eventually get them announced. And I'm so happy. I've been playtesting this deck on YgoPro, and I love it. So, let's talk about it. So this is the Palldion Archetype. 5 main deck monsters, 3 links, 2 spells, and a trap card. All really cool. And I gotta say, first things first, I freaking love the artwork on all these cards. This is by far some of the best artwork in the whole lore series. And I think I'm gonna probably do a lore video on this because I just freaking love this lore and everything that Konami's doing with this. Like, seriously, Konami, make a video game around some of these lores. But I digress. So, we got our 3 main ones here, and then some others. Let's get on with this. First and foremost, Palldion of the Fiendish Illusion. That would be this dude over here. 400 attack, 2k defense, level 3 fire spellcaster effect monster. You can only special summon 1 card of this card's name with the way it is written in its first effect once per turn, and then you can only use its second effect once per turn. So it's a hard once per turn for both effects, and that goes for pretty much all of them. So his first effect is, and this goes for every single main deck Palldion, you can special summon this card from your hand to your zone a link monster points to in defense position. This does not have to be your link monster. It can be your opponent's that happens to be pointing to your zone. But as long as it's a link monster zone, a zone where it's pointing to, you can special summon them to that zone. That goes for every single Palldion main deck monster, as well as also their World Legacy monster that correlates with the deck. Now, I won't be going over that monster in this video, but however, World Legacy Crown is by far one of the best World Legacies I have seen that like really works with this deck. And considering this deck's general playstyle, World Legacy Lance also works really well. So I've been playing around with that quite a bit. Anyway, so Fiendish Illusion's unique effect is that if he is normal or special summon to a zone a link monster points to, you can target 1 Palldion card you control and 1 card your opponent controls, destroy them. Now, this does combo well with one of the other support cards, the quick play spell. But however, more so, it's just one general 1-for-1 spot removal. You can summon himself, pop himself, and something else. Just really good overall for just being able to get rid of spot removal things. Like if your opponent has like a not royal oppression. I mean, if they had that, but like iron wall or something like that, you could get rid of anything that might annoy you. Then we got Palldion of the Vast Sky, and this is quite obviously a much older, much more war-torn, battle-hardened Mech Knight Avram, who of course is World Chalice Aurum or something like that. I can't remember his full name, but he's basically Aurum, who is also chosen by the World Chalice. He has gone through so much, and as you're going to see later, Imduk is still around as well. But interestingly enough, Ningirsu is nowhere to be seen, which leads to some interesting lore implications. But however, I digress. So, our Palldion of the Vast Sky is a level 4 light, psychic, 1600 attack, 1000 defense. He's still been a psychic ever since he was the original chosen. I think he switched to Cybers whenever he got powered up by the World Chalice, but that was just a kind of one-time thing. But however, pretty decent stats overall. And then, of course, he has a special summon effect that all of them do. And then you can target 1 Palldion link monster you control. Only that monster can attack for the rest of this turn. Also, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent from battling a monster is doubled. Now, this brings up the main way that this deck wants to play and its playstyle, and that is getting out a big beefy link monster and then giving it a crap ton of bonus effects. Because I'll tell you one thing, you're never going to be attacking with your main deck monsters in this deck unless you're in a really bad position. But however, generally speaking, the idea is to get a really powerful, really beefy Link monster with some really good stacked effects. And yeah, this really helps out. The double damage is just amazing with this. Anyway, so yeah, definitely a really great card. Then we got Palldion of the Sacred Tree, which is the waifu over here. Oh, gee, I can't wait to see Konami censor this, because you can't have garter belts and Yu-Gi-Oh cards for TCG. That's just not right. Which is a shame, because this is beautiful artwork, and she is definitely a top-tier waifu. Anyways, this is a level 3 Water Warrior Tuner. For some reason, effect monster, 800 attack, 1800 defense, same spell summoning effect, and then if a Palldion monster or monster is you control it be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard or your side of the field instead. Now then, this card is another just overall great card. You mainly want to use her as link climbing material so that you can get her in your graveyard, and so that then you don't have to banish her from your field and then go neg to protect your stuff, but by banishing her from the graveyard you can protect your stuff without negging yourself. Even more so than that, the fact that she's a tuner brings up some interesting deck building styles, because you could incorporate some synchros, which is pretty nice. But even more so, it's quite obvious what this was made for, or at least why she was given the tuner status. Unless this deck randomly gets a synchro in the next set, which is entirely possible. I mean, it's Konami. But however, it's mainly for Needle Fiber. They know Needle Fiber is super popular right now, and if you make a Needle Fiber, summon out her from deck, and then go for the Link 2 or something, there's a lot of really good combos you can do with her among with the other dudes. Pretty good card overall. Again, you just generally want to get her in the graveyard as fast as possible and get as many as you can. And then, unfortunately, you can only use the second effect once per turn, but hey, still being able to protect your stuff is nice. And then we got M-Duck and a lion that came out of nowhere. Is it just weird? Does it look like the lion from... God, what was he? The level 7, I think? The Emperor of the freaking spellbooks of Prophecy. He kind of looks like the lion from the Prophecy deck. But obviously not with a giant wheel and not standing on 2 legs. So, Palldion of the Celestial Bodies. He's a level 4 Wind Dragon effect monster. 600 attack, 2k defense. Same spell summoning effect. And then, if this card is no more spell summoned to a zone a link monster points to, you can target 1 Palldion card in your graveyard, except himself, add it to your hand. Really good card overall, just a great recursion. You mainly want to use him in combination with the first Link monster, who we'll go over here in a minute, because then you just get to plus like crazy. It's kind of ridiculous. But however, he is a generally good card overall. Then we got by far, what I gotta say is unfortunately the weakest of the Palldion main deck monsters, if only because his effect is, well, honestly, the weakest. You can target 1 Palldion Link monster you control during this turn that attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. It just occurred to me I completely skimmed over his name and effect. He's Palldion of the 100 Beasts, level 3 Earth Beast effect monster, 1200 attack, 1600 defense. So why is he the weakest? Well, how often do you see stuff in defense? Like, honestly. The big reason why you're going to be playing this dude is mostly just simply for his stat line being the, what, second strongest main deck? Yeah, second strongest main deck. Palldion. Of course, what you'd rather have is the big guy over here, Vast Sky, with your other Link arrow being pointed to by good old World Crown, but I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyways, yeah, he's okay. Getting defense, piercing is nice and all, but you're mainly just using him as another name so you can link climb. Moving on to the links, we got 3 links, and that's it, which is interesting. It kind of sucks they're only getting 3 links, but honestly, with the 3 links we got, we only need these 3. So first up is Magius Palldion, who is this dude up top, and is the first of the links that we'll be talking about, and the one that I referenced that combos really especially well with M-Duck being all grown up. So He has 100 base attack, he's a Link 1, and he just needs a Palldion monster except a copy of himself, which is pretty par for the course. Now, every single one of the Palldion Link monsters shares the first 2 effects. This card gains attack equal to the original attack of the monster or monsters it points to, and the monster this card points to cannot attack. Now, obviously with these 2 who are pointing up towards your opponent, ideally you want your opponent to have a monster there as well, but they're not going to unless they have to, or if they have an out. But however, generally speaking, these 2 effects are here because of the deck's playstyle. Now then, if an effect monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, you can add 1 Palldion monster from your deck to your hand. That is a hard once per turn. So Magus or Magius is a really darn good card. And the reason why I said he combos really well with the Celestial Bodies here. So like, let's say you just normal summon 100 beasts, link off for Magius, and then you special summon Celestial Bodies. Celestial Bodies effect will trigger grabbing back 100 beasts, and then that will also, his special summon will trigger Magius, searching out another Palldion. Ideally, either Vast Sky or Sacred Tree, so either the waifu or the hero. So you generally want to go for one of those 2, and then I would just go off from there, creating some really good stuff. So yeah, pretty good card overall. Then we got, I'm going to actually cover Archetype here in a second. He's a Link 3 and a boss monster. Regulix Palldion, he's the Link 2 light beast effect monster, 1000 attack, he's a Link 2. Needs 2 effect monsters, including at least 1 Palldion monster. This card gains attack equal to the blah blah blah, gain monsters it points to, can't attack. And then he does the same thing as Magius, but grabs one of their spells or traps, and not the monsters, which is pretty good overall. You know, you want to get your spells and traps, especially most notably the quick play or the field spell. The trap, not so much. The trap more so, you're probably going to hard draw into most of the time unless you already got the spell and the field spell. But I'm getting ahead of myself again. So, pretty good card overall, once again. One of the best things I found is doing what I said earlier about Magius, and then summoning something to this dude here, getting search, linking off with him and the tree one, what was her, Sacred Tree, going for Needle Fiber effect, summon out another dude, another Sacred Tree, and then going for, well, using her and Needle Fiber for Archlord Palldion, who is the boss monster. He's a Link 3 Cyberse Link effect monster. Attack 2k, top, bottom, left, bottom, right. Needs 2 or more effect monsters, including at least 1 Link monster. And this card gains attack, blah, blah, blah. Same things as usual. And once per turn, as a quick effect, you contribute 1 Palldion or World Legacy monster you control that this card points to, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls. Till the end of the turn, that card's effects are negated. So, really good card overall, once again. He's got the strongest amount of attack, well, base, out of the 3. And he's got a really good negation effect, which, due to it being a quick effect and being worded the same way, roughly, as Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, you can negate spells that are activated because, well, they're technically on the field. So, if your opponent activates Regeki and you don't have a World Tree in your graveyard to protect everybody, you can use this dude's effect, tribute a dude, negate the Regeki. Really good card overall. Now then, moving on to the spell and trap lineup. Unfortunately, they got the least amount of spells and traps among all the World Legacy archetypes. Although, I guess, also crawlers until they got the new support out of the set, which I'm going to cover later. Well, I'm going to cover one of them. I already missed the chance to talk about Communion. I digress, though. First and foremost, Reunite Palldion, field spell card. I freaking love the artwork on these cards as well. As I've mentioned, the card art on all of these are just great. Palldion Link monsters gain 500 attack. That goes for your opponents as well, which is pretty crazy in the mirror. Once per turn, you can target 1 Palldion monster you control. It can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Also, no other monsters you control can attack this turn. So, as I mentioned earlier, the general idea is to get out Archlord Palldion, have 2 or so, well, as many monsters as possible, preferably being pointed to by him, preferably Vast Sky and the World Legacy card, because, well, the World Legacy has the most amount of attack power between the two, between all of the monsters, and it has the most amount of synergy with them. And also, of course, then, you know, just giving out all these extra effects and a field spell that's an attack on everything. So not only that, so then ideally you would have, let's see, 2k plus 16, a 5600 multi-attacker with double damage who can negate stuff. It's stupid. I love it. This deck is just like right down my alley, and I love it. Then we got the trap card, Crusade Palldion. Again, this artwork is amazing. I want this as a mat. It's a continuous trap. You can only activate one card of this card's name per turn. When activated, you contribute a Palldion monster or a World Legacy monster. Special in one Palldion monster or World Legacy with a different original name from your deck or graveyard. So it's kind of like a Monster Reborn or a deck thinner. Really great card overall. And then also, if you control a Palldion Link monster, your opponent cannot target monsters for attacks except Link monsters. Again, another really just awesome effect. I love it. This card is really good. I don't get why people are hating on it so much. I mean, it's because it's a trap, obviously, and it's cool to hate traps right now. So, God, that can come out very, very wrong. Then finally, we have All Blade Palldion. And you can only activate a card with this card's name once per turn. Quick play spell, target one face-up Palldion monster you control. This turn, that Palldion monster is unaffected by card effects except its own. Again, another just amazing card. Just being able to protect your dudes and, you know, just stopping stuff. It's amazing. I love it. Really awesome overall. And actually, I've decided, whoops, that I am going to go ahead and pull up the World Legacy. Originally, I wasn't going to do this because it was announced so long ago, but I figure, why the hell not? Where is it? I think it's back one more page. It was revealed in the commercial. I think I skipped over it. Ah, darn it. And I skipped over it again, didn't I? Oh well, I'm gonna cut. Here we go, found it. World Legacy World Crown, which is this card right over here. Beautiful artwork once again, along with all the other stuff. God, I wish we had OTs still. It looks like these are OTs. Darn it, Konami, making me jealous. So, World Legacy World Crown, level 6 Dark Machine effect monster. 2k attack, 2k defense. You can only special on this card with its first effect by its own effect once per turn. You can only use its third effect of this card's name once per turn. You can special on this card from your hand to your main monster zone that a link monster link points to in defense position. Same exact summoning conditions as Palldions. I mean, again, it goes with it. And then second effect, when a monster in the field that was special from the extra deck activates an effect, you can tribute this card, negate that activation, and destroy that card. And then if this normal summon card is tributed, you can add one World Legacy spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. Now, I like this card overall, really just awesome for this deck, okay? Because not only does it have the highest amount of attack for them, so then just alone it makes Archlord Palldion 4k, which should be enough to kill your opponent in one hit most of the time. But however, also it has a great negation effect, and if you do normal summon it, which you can do theoretically, like late game, mid to late game, you get to add a World Legacy spell or trap card from your deck to your hand pretty easily if it's tributed either by its first effect or if you tribute it for like Archlord or something. Really good card overall. My only real gripe is that it can't grab the Palldion spells or traps because the Palldion spells and traps don't actually have World Legacy in their name. So you got to play some of the other stuff. Granted, you do play the World Legacy Monster Reborn spell in this deck. So yeah, it kind of goes par for the course. So that's Palldions. I am loving this deck so far. I've been playing it on YgoPro. It's such a fun deck. It has a lot of cool combos, and yeah, sure, it's kind of a one-trick pony to get to, you know, Archlord and just swing for big damage, but I love those stupid kind of decks. I mentioned it earlier, but World Legacy, World Lance, if I remember right is the name, is also really great for this deck because it's basically like a reverse honest. You drop it, and your opponent's monster drops by 3k, so you get, generally speaking, that's going to drop your opponent's monster to 0, and that's going to result in them being one shot most of the time. I love it. This deck is a lot of fun. I can't wait to get it in IRL, but it's going to be quite a while because, let's see, I think this is going to be our August set, so it's going to be a while. What do you guys think of Palldions? I'm going to cover the rest of the Cybernetic Horizon stuff later on. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later. Peace out.